Welcome to my channel where Ape runs into the most obvious trap ever. Our next Reddit post is from a user. In sophomore year of high school, there was a group of people who called themselves the Cobras. They got their name because they were always getting into fights and they always fought in groups of 3. Like a cobra, these guys were not the sharpest tools in the shed. They weren't very bright. They weren't very athletic, but they were definitely very confident. And because of this, they picked on the weaker kids. But they never really did anything that was too bad. It was more just petty stuff. One day, they started going around the school, specifically the bathrooms, and they started spray painting their name on the walls. The administration didn't seem to know who they were talking about when asked. I don't know if that was part of the joke or not. They continued to paint their name everywhere. It was on the floors, the walls, the windows. They even painted a huge mural of a cobra on one of the outdoor walls. Finally, they decided to escalate. During the day of a state championship game for one of our basketball teams, they decided to go into the center of our gym and paint the floor. They painted our school's mascot, our school colors, and even some of the inspirational quotes that we had painted on the floor. At this point, the administration was furious, and they started trying to find out who the culprits were. They put up posters offering a reward for any information that would lead to the arrest of these vandals. There was even a meeting after school where all of the parents of the students were called in, but despite all of this, nobody knew who it was. All they knew was that it was a group of students calling themselves the Cobras. The Cobras continued to go around and cause their mayhem. They even started making more artistic pieces. In the cafeteria, they redid the Mona Lisa with smiley faces. In the women's bathroom, they drew our woman principal with a mustache on the door. Even the local businesses started getting hit up. Then it happened. It was the end of the year, and it was time for our class photos. The school did these big group photos where all of the students and all of the teachers got together and took a picture. For whatever reason, this year they decided to do it in the gym. Announcements were going off, calling people down to the gym to come take their picture. Our class was next. We all lined up and walked down to the gym. As we were walking, one of the students looked up at the announcements and read off the next message. All members of the Cobras are to report to the gym immediately. Everybody laughed because it was obviously a joke. It was the first announcement that wasn't calling a specific grade or just saying all students. So everybody figured that they were just telling the Cobras to get down there. So all 13 of these guys ran down to the gym. The teacher that was taking the photos saw them coming and she stopped what she was doing. She turned to them and said, I haven't caught you guys yet, but I know exactly who you are. Do you want to tell me? The Cobras looked at each other in confusion. They were confused because the last thing they did was draw mustaches on some bathroom stalls. They didn't think that was a big deal. So they were confused as to why they were being brought down there. She continued to say, "Do you want to tell me who did all of this?" As she gestured around the room at all of the graffiti. Finally, they realized what was going on. One of them tried to turn and run out of the gym, but he ran straight into the glass door. He looked back at the teacher and said, "I didn't do anything," but obviously he did. The teacher grabbed him and pulled him back into the room. The rest of the Cobras were arrested as well. And that's one stupid kid who laughed until he cried. Did you know that a broken heart could be a legitimate cause of death? Check out this playlist for more stories just like this one. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already.